So if I could tell a beginner photographer one piece of advice that they could use for their entire career, it would be always critique your work and find the next mistake. I'm going to explain what I mean by that here in just a second. But first, hey, I'm Jared, and if you're new here, which all of you are because this is my first video, I'm a professional photographer located here in beautiful Northeast Tennessee. My passion for photography goes all the way back to my high school days, but I'm not going to bore you with that today. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. I've been doing this whole photography thing for going on 10 years now, and I've learned a few things. So earlier I said the one piece of advice I'd give a new photographer is to learn to critique your work. And so what I mean by that is I want you to think of a performance review that you've had at a job. Most of them are annual, some of them are quarterly, but the whole thing is they look back at your year of work, your quarter of work, whatever, and they critique you, right? They say, this is the things that you did well, and these are the things you can improve upon. How does this apply to photography? Well, so let me preface. The first thing you've got to do is you've got to go out and create something. You've got to go out, take a photo of something that you found pleasing, whatever. Once you've taken the photo, that's where this piece of advice comes into play. So the biggest key in all of this is to give yourself some time. I don't think you can properly critique work that you just created because it's fresh on your mind. At that point, you thought it was done, you thought it was good. You've got to give yourself some time. Now, that may be a week, that may be a month, 6 months, a year, whatever. But the big key here is to be very honest with yourself, but not brutal on yourself. You got to give yourself some grace. After time, you can look back and say, was the composition good? Did I nail my exposure? Do you like how you edited the image? Editing's probably another topic for another day. So the answers to these questions is what you can then turn around and work on the next time. Remember, your first fill in the blank is going to be bad. Your 10th fill in the blank is going to be better. Now, just imagine your 100th fill in the blank. This applies to photography, anything, literally, fill in the blank. Your first one's gonna suck, your 10th one's gonna be better, and your 100th one's gonna be even better. So it's one of those things where you've gotta constantly be making, learning, and repeating. You need to start thinking of your mistakes as less of a negative and more of a positive because it's a chance to learn and get better. In my opinion, becoming a photographer, a great photographer, is a journey that doesn't really have a destination. There's no finish line to it. It's something that you've always got to be working on, and you've always got something that you can learn from and get better at. Full transparency, I'm 10 years into this journey right now, and I still find issues with the work that I created 6 months ago, heck, 6 weeks ago. But it's something that you can constantly be learning from. And at that point, you can constantly be improving upon if you stick with it. And honestly, that's exactly what makes this whole thing fun for me. It's something that you're constantly having to learn, you're constantly having to work on. And I just enjoy the thrill of essentially chasing that destination, that finish line that really doesn't exist. So remember, Rome was not built in a day, and at some point, Michael Jordan had never even picked up a basketball, let alone become the GOAT. So we all start somewhere, and progress only happens if you learn from your mistakes. I hope you enjoyed this video and this tip. Whenever you start on this photography journey, you're going to be overwhelmed with questions, gear, settings, all of these things. So I wanted to give you something that's actionable, that doesn't relate to gear, doesn't cost you a dime, but it's something that you can use for the duration of your career, and that is learn to critique your work. You need to look back at your past work, see where you messed up so that you can do better the next time. Stick around and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me in the future. Keep shooting, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Trying something new today. I have always wanted to start a YouTube channel, and I've had a YouTube channel, and all I've done is watch YouTube. So in fact, it's not really a channel at all. It's more of just a Google account that I log into YouTube and consume. Trying to change that today.